A little bit of brekkie in the morning. Nice, delicious steak breakfast. No eggs, though. You can't eat eggs in Minecraft. Are you silly? Anyways, hey guys, Stitches here. Welcome back to Minecraft. Last time we set up the sheep pen with various sheep colors. We have white, we have red, blue, black, and orange. With more to come in the future, but those are the ones I just did at the current moment. Anyways, this time we're actually gonna start by gussying up, or like dressing up these pens a little bit. I decided to do this just because. So we will actually need like quite a bit more fences. So I am actually gonna go fully destroy the rest of the. Ooh, there's a pumpkin. I am gonna go fully destroy the rest of the thing over here just so I can harvest the fences from it. And also prevent creatures from getting stuck in here. If you don't remember what this was, I used this in the sniper duel video where I was getting sniper duel. Because I measured out 50 blocks. So I guess I did lie a little. We are gonna have to change how the torches are set up for this. So they aren't on the corners anymore. So I'm hoping no snow will generate. Oh, my bad, sheep. Punched him in the face with a torch. I torched him. At least it didn't light him on fire. I had some mod that made it where... Like, I was playing a modded version of Minecraft at one point, where I had some mod that made it so if you hit enemies with a torch, they would light on fire, which I thought was interesting. It might have been Tinker's Construct, which is a pretty popular weapons mod. Kind of just an everything mod. It was in my mod pack, which if you don't know what a mod pack is, a mod pack is like a collection of mods that heavily changed Minecraft to make it kind of different to play. So if you're curious why, perhaps, we would want to change this, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a little canopy that is 2 blocks above here. So this canopy will also protect the grass from snow. So, you know. Hey, stop that. Sheep do kind of get this thing, by the way, where they do look white again in this version before they regrow their wool, but I guarantee you they do keep their wool colors. It's not a once per time thing. Hey, the adult. The baby's grown. Little lamb has grown all up for me to shear its wool. I don't think you can shear lambs. Is there any of these lambs still around? No? Alright. They've all matured. I honestly don't even know if we need to shear the sheep, the white sheep. But yeah, you get the idea. We're basically just gonna, like, build a cross to start. I'm not gonna get too much into it, like, here on camera. Probably. I might. Black sheep particularly are restless. I'm starting to shear too many of them at a time. I don't know. I'm assuming... So this one's got to be blue, because there's a blue in there. Maintaining a light level is by putting a torch on top of each of these. Anyways, I hope I don't get copyright claims, by the way, for this song. The current owners of this game, which is Microsoft, unfortunately. The current owners of this game really like to do copyrights on the soundtrack right now. So... It also mainly happened, in relation to the Minecraft movie, though. But yeah, eventually I'll finish these, but this kind of will just help to color code for now which ones are which, so that way, if I shear any of them, I'll know. Or I can know, like, at a glance without having to look at all the moving sheep, like, or if I'm pretty far away, I can be like, oh, okay, that's red. Whatever, I don't know. Someone's gonna make fun of my reasoning and be like, that doesn't make any sense, idiot. I don't know. That's just the internet for you. I need a piece of iron. I don't know if I've mentioned this, but redstone and lapis can't be used to craft, tools. They are purely used for other things. Lapis is not that useful in this version of the game. Leaving. Lapis isn't that useful in this version of the game. In later versions of the game, they actually made it a requirement to enchant an item. That's just not a thing yet. So, enchanting has its old system, but there are balances to the enchanting to make it a little less intensive. But the main thing was it was trying to make lapis a lot more useful. That's really the only use for lapis. I don't think there's any villagers who ask for it as a trade in modern Minecraft. Anyways, we're gonna start making a pathway out here. Is this useful? Not really, but it would be kind of nice just to get it started on. One, two, 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 two. Oh, I might need to start making charcoal again. Charcoal is always good, like, don't get me wrong, like, if you don't go mining for a while, you can use charcoal to really stretch out your resources. I think charcoal also is, like, the intended way for you to make torches initially. Really quick, I do want to show there is something we can do with cobblestone. If we go into a crafting table, we can actually take cobblestone like this and place a block here, and you'll get access to stairs. That pattern is the stair pattern recipe, so several blocks have it. I think you can even make it out of these stone bricks if you wanted to, but cobblestone's more than acceptable for this. Something about this is, like, bugging me, and I don't know what it is. Or, like, maybe if I dug back up the gravel, put some dirt here and here, here. Dug up the stairs. Put these here. And then, I don't know, put some logs here. Here. Some more dirt. And then place the torches right there. Yeah, that looks much prettier. I don't know, there's something so, like, quaint about this version of Minecraft. I've used that word a couple times, quaint, without really fully describing what it means. It's just like, I don't know, there's like an emotion it portrays. But yeah, the main reason why I'd want to expand the house is getting a little cluttered, in my opinion. Really, we only have room for, like, one more chest in here. Which is, like, over here, and then we're kind of done. You know, I haven't really done much for this dog. One thing I don't think I mentioned is you can feed a dog, rotten flesh as meat. So you don't need to sacrifice your actual good meat to your dog. So, you ever need dog food? Want to make sure your pet is fed? Rotten flesh is the answer. Just feed them the flesh of the living dead. I'm sure that's healthy for your dog. Anyways. I don't know, don't they, like, put down dogs in real life once they get a taste of human flesh? Isn't that, like, a real thing? I don't know. I heard something about that that's, like, a protocol because the creatures, or, like, dogs will, like, get a taste for it. By the way, I have no idea where these snow golems disappear off to. They might despawn, honestly, and I don't know why they would. Unless they're just getting killed by getting into scraps with mobs while I'm just off doing my own thing. I mean, I've seen a few of them around, but I feel like I put them all pretty close together. Some people like to build little sentries out of them by trapping them in a stone prison. So we probably don't even need this many torches. I think just having them up there would be fine, but I have the torches down here for their melting properties. But once we create the overhang, snow won't fall onto blocks that have an overhang. So, like, if there's a block above, it will always be... Basically, it checks, like, the highest of what... If there's a block above, like, a certain distance above a block before generating snow on it. Anyways, that's that done. I don't really know what else to do, necessarily. Like, okay, what are advancements or achievements we can work on? Because, like, everything else right now involves us going back into the underground, which I'm not quite ready for. Because, like, this we'll have to do some dungeoning for. This we'll have to do some caving, and then we need more diamonds before we can continue on with the other things. Since we need to grab obsidian. I guess we just do, like, prep to get ready for, for, like, continuing on. I guess I could make the mushroom farm as well. It's another thing. I don't know. What, listening to myself as I play this game is like, we could be productive. Look at that. My phone. Ding, 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 ding. Well, next to the... the thing. I guess I could show this off. I have the materials to do so. So, we have mushrooms here, a red one and a brown one. What we can do is make a bowl. And you can make, by taking a bowl into mushrooms, some mushroom stew. It's not a good food source. It's unstackable normally. So, unlike, it heals more, or it fills you up more, but it's just not as viable. There is a means of getting mushroom stew that I'm not even sure is implemented in this version, actually. So, but in some versions of Minecraft, there is a thing called a mooshroom, which is a mushroom cow creature, and instead of being able to milk it with a bucket, you can go up to it with a bowl and get stew out of it. It's actually kind of nice seeing, like, not so much ice and snow everywhere. Like, it feels kind of homey. I feel like we're, like, actually kind of living here now. But, farming mushrooms isn't, like, the hardest. Really, we'll need some bones for it. Rather some bone meal. That should be enough. And we'll need some dirt. We'll need to head underground to make this work the best, because you can't grow a mushroom when there's a certain light level. And, yeah, I think that's about it. Anyway. To do this, we'll actually be heading back over to the dungeon area to start this. Could have just hit him with my sword for that last one, honestly. Oh, is this the cave I was thinking of? Yeah, we need to light this up a little. Yeah, I will be fixing this, by the way. I need to make it much taller. Like, honestly, I want to make it more proportionally tall to that. Because we're going to want that thing quite tall. Why did I just walk past the spawn? Alright, the spawner tunnel. I need to go down there. And we're not going all the way down to the spawner. But there's a room down here, like an area, where, yeah, for whatever reason, like, just the pocket generated, so we can actually use this to our advantage. So we'll need to, like, cave this out quite a bit, so I'll be right back after doing that. Alright, I had to run back up here to get the mushrooms, because I left them back in the chest. But also, one thing I kind of realized that's nice is because of all the snow and the different shade of green that the grass is, it's actually pretty easy to spot creepers here. Normally in a forest area, you wouldn't even notice a creeper. It's designed to be camouflage. Is that part of the floor missing? Or is it just, like, snowy over there? I guess it's just snowy with the fog. It looks kind of like the world see-through. Now would be a good time to eat this mushroom soup. You can see it fills up even more. Hey! Get out. I don't like that one. Alright, so I've built kind of two patches here. One for this mushroom, and one for this one. These mushrooms are distinctly different. Let's see. Oh, is this not a thing, or is this too bright for you? When was giant mushrooms added in? Actually, maybe it's not a thing. That skeleton arrow just disappeared. This might not actually be a feature in this version now I think about it. It says they are in the game. I don't understand why this isn't happening. There's iron there that I didn't see previously. Do I maybe need to break the wall a little bit? Maybe if I centralized the mushroom area. Would this help? It says they were added in the beta, so... Scary in here. Oh. What's... Okay, I guess that works. That's a bug. Maybe it's a little buggy. So this is a giant red mushroom. You can see it's got a curved cap, and you can use it to get multiple mushrooms back. So this is a way you can farm mushrooms. These blocks are not obtainable in this version. Later versions of Minecraft would let you craft a version of the block that has this texture on all sides. I think they might have been available in the creative menu. Next up, we need the brown mushroom. Yeah, it seems a little like bugged for some reason. There we go. So the brown mushrooms have these huge flat tops. Now, these can be used to build some pretty neat houses. I've actually built houses on top of this mushroom, and then like out of the red mushroom, you can also build the house if you would like. But yeah, they don't have a 100% drop rate, but when these things start dropping mushrooms, they do drop quite a bit. So, like, you can get a couple mushrooms out of it. So yeah, I must not have had the space requirement just on the side, so I guess the middle one worked, though. Anyway, if you're wondering what this chest is, it's more cobblestone, so I guess if I need more cobblestone, I know where to get it. Honestly, I should probably put a chest in the fucking, generator room. But yeah, there must be some sort of bug with the giant mushrooms that prevents them from spawning in properly because of the light level or something. Was that all worth it? Not really. I don't consider mushrooms to be that good of a food source, really. I mean, because like I mentioned here, like, if I do this, you can see I can't have two of them on top of each other. Which kind of makes sense, because, like, you can't put a bowl of soup inside of a bowl of soup. That doesn't work. If you're wondering why my dog moved, there was a skeleton over here. So, he kind of reacted to it a little bit. You do get the bowls back whenever you eat the food, so that's nice. Later on, other stews would be introduced. Later on, they would introduce rabbits and rabbit stew. And then they would also introduce an item called suspicious stew, which gets a potion effect based on whatever flour you put in it. And the best one you could do is dandelions, because it was like more food per food, effectively, because it would give you an effect called saturation. Basically, they reworked the hunger mechanic way later in the game, but... yeah. Anyways, now it's time we go on the hunt for cattle. Or whatever. Honestly, I'm down with either. You know, I did this and then, like, realized that that's not how I'm supposed to do that again. Chicken. We're not really going for chickens this time. The chicken, like, cooked chicken is still a really good food item, but it's, like, not as good as, say, the pork or the, pork chops or the, steak. Steak, in my opinion, is the best food in the game currently. Later on, they would introduce a food item called a golden carrot, which was, like, the best normal food item, and there's a point in late stage Minecraft in later versions of the game where, like, once you're pretty late into the game, you can, trade quite a bit, just due to, having resources to do so. Okay, good, I had the compass on me. I also have mushrooms on me, fucking great, I'm glad I didn't put those in the chest. To be fair, one argument I have seen for mushrooms not being stackable is the fact that you only need to hold, like, 3 items to craft mushroom stew. Which, like, I understand that argument a little bit, but also I'd rather just have, like, regular mushroom, or, like, regular food that stacks. Oh, I was able to one-shot you. Weird. My crit might do inconsistent damage. Maybe you do more damage the closer something is to you. I don't know. Yeah, there's also this that happens. I don't know if I've showed this off. There's kind of this, like, a thing that can happen where blocks become, like, super fucking dark. This is just a weird thing with Minecraft's older lighting engines. Speaking of mushroom stew, I'm kind of low on hunger. But yeah, you can see it refills you quite a bit more than you would with, anything. But one main complaint I've seen people have with mushroom stew is that it requires both types of mushrooms. Which, that, honestly, I don't know why. Maybe it was to incentivize, like, exploring. But yeah, I'm wanting to conserve my steak a little bit. What to talk about during this? I know I mentioned newer versions of the game quite a bit. Or spider. It scared me. I mentioned newer versions of the game quite a bit. So, newer versions of the game feature like newer versions of the game, there's two versions of the game. There's Minecraft Java Edition, which is just updates on top of what I am playing right now. And then there's Minecraft Bedrock Edition. And the main difference is this runs in JavaScript, which, I'll be honest, is not necessarily the best programming language to write a game in. It causes a bunch of weird bottlenecks and limitations. There's coal out here. Suppose I could grab that, but I don't really think it's necessary right now. It doesn't pertain to the current goal. Yeah, critting these guys, honestly, isn't really helping. Yeah, I don't really know why sometimes I can OHKO them and sometimes I can't. But Bedrock Edition runs on, I believe it's a C hash program. It's an engine for the game that runs in C hash. And it's kind of just trying to, basically like another game trying to emulate Minecraft. And there's a bunch of weird differences between the two. Like, they just decide in one version you can do this feature, and in the other you can do another feature. And I don't really get this, because the whole version of Bedrock, or the whole idea behind the Bedrock edition of the game was parity. Parity. There's one pumpkin here. You know, parity between the two versions. Meaning that, or parity between multiple versions, which means that, like, all of the same features are in all the versions of the game. Oh, hey, there's the birchwood again. I think we'll just stop and spend 20 minutes collecting that again. Honestly. Here's the ocean. The old Minecraft ocean that doesn't really... Or no, never mind, that was not the ocean. Whoa, that's pretty cool. There's some cobblestone over there underneath that lava. There's also a broken mushroom on the ground because of how that block generated for some reason. I don't think in this version you can breed wolves yet. That is a feature later. You can utilize meat on a wolf when they're fully grown. Speaking of wolves, here's a whole pack. They tend to spawn in these spruce biomes, which this is actually a different type of wood as well, called spruce wood. It's darker than the normal wood. I'm actually going to get some of this because I think these generate a different sapling. They're quite tall, though, so they kind of suck a little bit. Here we go. This is a sapling, and it's a different variety. It's still just called sapling, but it makes these trees. So, you know, we do get some differences. But here you can see our wood is a lot darker and doesn't stack with our current wood. So, you know, that's pretty neat. Seems like the nightfall might approach. So I think I'll leave it here. There's a desert over there. I think I'll be leaving it here. And next time we'll kind of continue our little excursion. Or next time we'll either continue our excursion or I'll be back with food and such. So I will see you guys then. So thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to hit the like button. You should also subscribe, hit the bell icon to get notifications. Additionally, you should check out the links in the description. There's links to my Blue Sky and Twitter social media pages. It's a brown sheep. There's links to my Twitch page where I live stream, and there's links to my Ko-Fi page where for $3 a month you can become a monthly member, which will get you access to things like early access content. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.